Hey YouTube, what's up? This is Steven, of course. And oh, okay, someone actually is tuned in. Oh, wow. Thanks to that one person who just tuned in. Could you type something? I can't. I don't know, the mobile app is kind of weird. They don't set it up so you can see the actual people or the usernames. They're just like, oh, you have one viewer. I hope I'm coming in clear. But yeah, I did one of these live streams recently today, earlier today, and I was like, well, maybe I should try it again, right? Try it again. I went on for like 2.5 hours because it was just, so riveting, Hopefully some other people tune in, you know. I should probably like schedule these. That would probably help. Yeah. But yeah, to the one person. Oh, hey Luna. I was wondering when it was going to speak up or type up. All right, thanks for the support. It's very appreciated. Um, but yeah, I just uh, probably a little less than maybe 30 minutes ago, or around 30 minutes ago, I just released a video, a quick short little video about me talking about the alternate ending for the movie Get Out. And just, I guess, putting it out there, has anyone actually seen the alternate ending for the movie Get Out? Has anyone seen the movie Get Out? Okay, you saw the movie. Did you enjoy watching the movie? Yeah, I saw the movie in theaters, and it was like, a lot of quote unquote ethnic people, aka black people, in the theater, too. Um, so that made it even more um, fun. Yeah, that alternate ending, right? That alternate ending is what we expected when we were in the theaters, right? Okay, someone else tuned in. All right. Um, Thanks a lot for the tuning in. Oh, hey, Molly. My day was fine. I haven't. Let's see. Yeah, my day was fine. It wasn't anything spectacular, but it was cool. Um, yeah, I'm glad they scrapped that alternate ending too, because that was kind of depressing. You know, even though I do think it's kind of true to reality, but it's like, can like black people win at least in a fictional film? Can we win at least once? You know. And I think that's why they kind of, the creator, Jordan Peele, he didn't use that ending, because I think they tested the ending and it tested poorly. He went through all that mess just to go to jail. Yeah. But they did say that another ending that they were going to use is like, the friend Rod coming to rescue Chris or whatever, to check on Chris. And then when Rod sees Chris, he's looking into a window and he calls out his name, Chris. And then Chris turns around and he says, I assure you, I don't know who you're talking about. Thus implying that his body was snatched. you know. So that I guess we could have got a worse ending, where Chris gets snatched. But you know, I guess we have another viewer. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I wonder who it is. Yeah, they need to sort of get this together. Yeah, I think that one would have been like creepy. Ginger T 3424. Hey, Ginger. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate the support. um, but yeah, I did a video about the movie Get Out, actually. And I think like that video, I didn't expect anyone to watch that video at all. I expected maybe like literally like two people to watch the video, but a lot of people watched the video and seemed to really enjoy the video. So I was really appreciative about that. And that sort of got the ball rolling as far as like the videos I've been doing recently in regards to like the black community and colorism and other issues that we go through. Let's see. But I guess we can, let's see, what else we can talk about. Oh yeah, I had released a video. Yeah, colorism can be draining. Really, talking about black issues can be very draining. Really. Sometimes, you know, it feels like it's kind of almost, it can get to the point where it's like, what's the point, like, what's the point in trying? What's the point in talking? Like, we've been going through this more or less the same shit for how long? How many centuries? Yeah. And I think sometimes it's probably good to kind of step away and just, quote unquote, just live life. I didn't watch the BET Awards, actually. Um, I actually don't have. Well, I have a TV, but I don't really use the TV, and I don't have cable. And I didn't really hear about it. I didn't really hear about the BET Awards at all, or as some people call them, the EBT Awards, right? Do you think it's offensive when people refer to them as the EBT Awards? Because really, BET is owned by Viacom, and that's like a white slash Jewish owned like conglomerate of networks, right? And but they have invested a lot into the production value. I used to be pro-black, quote unquote, but suffered from depression and anxiety. Religion and race topics made it worse. Hmm. Me personally, I don't refer to myself as pro-black. Um, and I think Cynthia G kind of does the same thing, whereas like she doesn't refer to herself as pro-black either. I mean, if someone were to call me that, I wouldn't be offended by it. But the reason that I don't refer to myself personally as pro-black is because I feel like people have a certain definition of what pro-black is. And I really don't feel like having to entertain and defend myself constantly. Pro-black equals pro-black men only. You can't be a pro-black woman? No. And really, pro-black should be kind of implied. I know Lashid for you has mentioned this, but yeah, like if you are black, it should be implied that you are pro-black, right? It shouldn't have to be stated, I am pro-black. It should be implied. And if you are pro-black, then you should be pro-black man and pro-black woman, like both of them. You can't just be one or the other because both need each other to exist. You know, you can't have a black man without a black woman. You can't have a black woman without a black man, right? Okay. Someone else tuned into the live stream chat. So shout out to you, whoever you may be. It seems like black folks only focus on black men's struggles. So when I see pro-black, it's always centered around men. Yeah, I definitely have called that out before. Like I said, when black men are affected, it becomes a community issue, right? This is a problem for like police brutality, right? And black women support this as a community issue, as they should, right? If we are a community, supposed to be a community, then we should act like that, right? But when it comes to black women's issues, like I said, black women are oftentimes left alone on their own, to be real. And I don't agree with that. I don't think it's right, but that's just the real. Let's see. Chrissy focuses on black men or BM issues. Oh, okay. Black women's issues. Yeah. She does. But I really feel like, let's see, I don't follow Chrissy or Sinji. Well, you don't know what you're missing. But yeah, Christy does oftentimes. It's like especially it's like Christy does black women's issues, but also dark skinned black women's issues too, which is I think really important. But oftentimes I really don't think people want kind of like black women to speak on their issues, So also, to an extent, I wouldn't, okay, soybeans. Okay. Thanks for tuning in, soybeans. You know how those, like some black men be like, oh, the black women joined the feminist movement, and that's what created all these issues and stuff. And I'm like, but I don't really think that many black women joined the white feminist movement, though. I really don't think so. I know there were probably a few, but come on. And also, I think that it's like, okay, why did black women feel the need to do that if they did, We have to ask that question too. I'm sure if things were going A-okay, black women probably wouldn't have felt the need to do that. But I really don't even think that many black women did actually do that, though. So you're familiar with, Chrissy and Sinji's platform. You just don't agree with most of their commentary. Are you, well, I know Cynthia G is like totally against swirling. So is that like something that maybe you are interested in or participate in perhaps? And I think Chrissy, I think she calls out, light-skinned women a lot and biracial women a lot. Are you a light-skinned or biracial female? Okay, you support a swirl. You support the swirl. Okay. Um, Me personally, where I stand with Swirling, I don't think it was asked, but I guess I can just put my opinion out there. You know, I don't totally knock swirlers as long as they're not being coonerific while they're swirling, you know, because you don't have to knock black people when you swirl. You could just swirl. But sometimes swirlers feel the need to knock black people, you know. There's a really popular swirler, black woman swirler on YouTube. I won't mention her name, but you know, she's the girl who swirls. All right, if you know her, you probably know you know her by that phrase, right? And I just I feel like it's not. It might not be in their best interest. Oh, you followed the girl who swirls? I've heard of her. I never actually looked at her content, though. I used to hate swirling, but I, as a black woman, am not shooting myself in the foot by limiting myself. I actually think that that's probably a good thing, really. Um, I know Chrissy kind of mentioned it before, has mentioned it before in some of her videos, where it's like, yeah, I don't think you really need to be holding out. Like, she's not that type who would hold out for a good black man and who would promote holding out for a good black man. And I think it goes both ways for her, too. I don't get why so many make platforms just about swirling. If you like someone of another race, great. But don't make it some kind of trend just because. Yeah, that's a bit strange too. But in defense of the girl who swirls, I think maybe she may be doing it to maybe sort of like maybe help black women kind of like show black women, hey, it can be done and you don't have, you know, to feel a certain way about it. Because I think sometimes, let's see, maybe they shouldn't hold out, but they are other races that can date other than white. I definitely believe that's true. Oftentimes when we do get into these conversations about swirling, it usually centers around white people, and I'm like, okay, that's just one race though. There's other races of people besides just white people. But and that's the thing too. It seems like it sort of centers around white people, and thus kind of indirectly, at least, kind of supports white supremacy. You know. Let's see. I think the platform is to encourage black women to expand their dating options. I think, um, perhaps. I mean, I can understand that. Because I think it is, but oftentimes the girl who swirls, right? She like I only hear, I don't really follow her, so this is hearsay, okay? But I only hear about her promoting white men, right? And she's with a white man too. And I also heard that she doesn't even talk about race issues with her white man, right? Which I think is weird. And Luna, she is not looking for any milk to go in her coffee. That's not on her list. I actually follow and donate to her. She uses men of different colors. Okay, I didn't know that. I thought she just gravitated towards white men. Which is fine for her to have a preference, but it's just a little strange when we're talking about swirling that it just centers around white folk. Just white people, right? What she need donations for, though? I don't know. That's a little strange. Um, I think didn't she publish a book about swirling or something? That's one reason I stopped following Senji when her and others misconstrued the platform. I don't know if they totally misconstrued the platform, but I do feel like Cynthia G does kind of go in on the girl who swirls, KC. Well, CK, sorry. Goes in on her a bit with a certain amount of like vitriol and a bit more maliciousness, because usually other than her I think she's sort of like not as harsh on the women who swirl as the men who swirls. I think you know um all right, be right back. All right. I think it's okay to have a preference, but to completely ignore your own men, it's weird. Yeah, I think that is a little bit odd. Same. It's like there's good and bad in all races. There's no one group full of tens. I agree. Um, but in white supremacy, it kind of seems to be like some of these women are kind of like gravitating. I don't know. They drunk the white supremacy Kool-Aid, really. Yeah, so shout out to the 5 users who are in the chat. I appreciate the feedback and the support. I don't know if I have something in my beard or just that's the lighting. But I think when it comes to the girl who swirls, I think I heard her refer to, um, I heard um, her refer to like good black men as unicorns. Again, a lot of this is hearsay because I don't follow her. You know, have I ever interracially dated? Me personally, I haven't. It's I haven't totally ruled it out as an option, but I personally haven't. I've just dated within my race. The women within my race. But I haven't totally ruled it out as an option. But preferably, and that's like my preference is my race. How about you? Let's see. Choose character over color is what she says. And that has been Asian, a black, white, Asian, Hispanic man on the platform. So seeing black folks twist her platform made me step back. Okay. Okay, so we got some swirlers in here. Okay. Oh. Oh. Let's see. Let's see. Molly says, I've dated different men. I don't see the benefit of limiting myself. I figured if black men and women will lie and twist her words, they'll do it to me and others. I don't know if they lying and twisting her words, though. That's the thing. I don't, well, to be fair, again, it's hearsay for me, though. So I don't know. But I just feel like, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of truth in what they're saying. I could be wrong. But on some level, I do think it's kind of good for black women to explore their options in the way of saying or sending the message to black men that, hey, you can be replaced. You know, at least to an extent. It's not like don't get to thinking you irreplaceable, that type of thing. You know. Because I think sometimes, as a collective, I think black men kind of think, oh, we got this, I didn't watch Cynthia's live stream today. I meant to watch, but I just got sidetracked with some other things. Was it anything out of the ordinary? And shout out to African Queen for joining the chat, by the way. Let's see. I be thinking the black women speaking against her really want to swirl. Cynthia G does kind of strike me as someone who would swirl, I don't mean that as an insult or anything, but she seems like she would be kind of like that black woman who swirls, But she's like really against swirling, really against it with white men especially. You're right. I've been reading It's Marriage for White People, and Richard Banks mentioned how black men don't have competition. Cynthia is hardcore. I can't imagine her being a swirler. I couldn't imagine her being a swirler up until recently. Until this whole incident with Tariq Nasheed, I was like, okay, she's not a swirler. But after this incident with Tariq Nasheed and that whole situation, and seeing how, she, is lying pretty much in the face of this point blank evidence that Tariq had posted, I'm like, maybe what they saying might be true. Maybe you might have swirled before, Which I don't think, don't get me wrong though. It's the lying part of it though. That's the thing. Don't get it mixed up. I don't knock her for swirling. I knock her for lying. If she did swirl, I would knock her for lying about it. Listen to the playback. Okay. Did she talk about anything specifically? I guess so, but what did she talk about specifically? When I followed her and saw her constantly twisting Casey's words, I thought maybe she wants to swirl or half swirl. Yeah, and I feel like, I don't know. Up until recently, I didn't think that Cynthia G was a swirler. But again, like I said, once the whole Tariq Nasheed situation happened, I'm like, I don't know if you are someone who's exactly 100% truthful, So maybe it could be some validity to what these trolls are saying, perhaps, you know? But again, I don't knock her for swirling. I would just knock her for lying about swirling, you know? Because if she did really swirl, I think she should just be upfront about it, you know? Who talks about something they don't care about? I suppose that's a good point, unless you're getting paid to do it. No. I just turned the TV off. I don't know what I actually don't know what I was watching. Let me check. I'll show you what I'm watching on TV right quick, or what I was watching. All right, here you go. Were you able to see it? Okay, so I guess we beat the swirling topic down for the time being. How about another topic about, well, I don't know, maybe that might be a bit too heavy. Let's see. What do you guys think about, or what did you guys think about, let's see, Cynthia's brothers and sisters swirl? Cynthia kept it 100. She said she has never been with anybody else but a black man. I want to believe it, you know. And I did believe it until recently. um, let's see, what else? I guess this is a bit off topic. Do you guys think that Paris Jackson, Michael Jackson's daughter, can claim a black identity? Like, when you see Paris Jackson, you be like, oh, you know, that's my Ginger tea. He's like, no. No. Okay, she is not black, please. Y'all don't see the blackness on Paris Jackson? Rachel Dolezal Part 2. That was a quick vote. Yeah, I will say Rachel at least committed. I think Paris, she just wanted to show up and just say, I'm black. And she ain't want to commit. I don't even think Paris Jackson has any black friends. I don't even think she really associates with black people like that. I just think she's trying to be black just for the benefits of it, because she's like in Hollywood, you know, and oh, she's the black girl, right? Because it's like, it's really hard in the white girl lane, right? But in the black girl lane, if you look a certain way, especially her practically looking white, she thinks she's gonna go down the Rashida Jones lane, you know. But nah, you need to go down the white girl lane. Don't come over here stepping on the black girl's toes. They already got enough people. Yeah. Black is trendy until it's time to really be black. That is true, you know. People love to imitate black folk, you know. But when it comes to actually speaking on some shit, then those same people are really silent about things, you know. Especially white people who have like the most privilege in society and who are in the best position to kind of affect a change positively for black people. But no, they just like to pick and choose like the blackness that they want to, you know, adopt, right? You like, oh, you know, the food, you know, oh, the music, you know, the hairstyles, the clothing, you know, the stuff about blackness that they fetishize, you know. But oh, y'all ain't picking up our history, you know. Y'all don't want to learn about our history and what y'all put us through and continue to put us through, you know. Selective black disorder. Everybody wants to be black, but they don't really want to go through the struggle. Yeah, that's true. I mean, really, if black people could just eliminate the black struggle and just be black, they would do it too. But that's the thing, though. Black people are invested in blackness because, well, it's like they kind of, to an extent, just don't have a choice to be, you know. I mean, I know, like, some people can probably say that they're not black, quote unquote, you know, and pass themselves off as something else, but, and you know, that has happened, you know. But there's also people who choose blackness and just choose to, you know, thug it out in the black community, you know. Blackness is referred to as cute when non-blacks do it, but when we are educated and articulate, we get chastised for acting too white. Yeah, that happens. Yeah. You know, a good example of that is when Miley Cyrus was twerking, you know. Oh, it's so cool, trendy. Okay, welcome back, Luna. But yeah, it's so cool and trendy, you know. When Miley Cyrus is twerking, right? But if like Keke Palmer or Raven Simone was twerking, you'd think it would have went over the same way, you know. Many black people glorify struggle, though. Many black people glorify struggle. Let's see. Soybeans. They have the best of both worlds. They can sleep with us, kill us, and do what they want without consequences. So why would they change? That's a good point. Cynthia G kind of brings up that in her videos that she talks about Swirling. I hope I'm coming in clear. Let's see. They have the best of both worlds. But yeah, they kind of do. Really, there's no incentive for them to change. There's no incentive for them to end white supremacy. They can have us and white supremacy. You know? Why have one good thing when you can have two good things? You know? They can have white supremacy and the BBC, or white supremacy and the BBA, you know? And whatnot. You know, they can have white supremacy and the African queen, you know. So why change? There's no incentive for them to change. If you had the choice of having one good thing or two good things, which one would you choose, right? And also, it takes time to change, you know. Who wants to go changing around their whole life, you know, when they don't have to change their whole life? It would have been a rap if a black woman gets on TV twerking. Yeah, it would be. But, you know, that's just the double standards, you know. Yeah, Keke Palmer and Raven Simone and any other woman of color, especially black women, would have been called all types of you know, hoes, sluts, you know, compare her to a prostitute or a stripper, you know, all types of negative stuff. And shout out to the users in this chat room, the 6 people. Well, I guess 5. Someone just left. So, do you guys consider Rachel Dolezal to be your sisters? Or your sister? Ginger T wrote, hell no. When you, but she did fool some people though. Yo, twin Luna. But Rachel did fool some people because she, um, like, she disguised herself though. That's the thing though. She kind of like got some self tanner from Walmart and got some, you know, curly weave and stuff. And she literally, like, she legitimately fooled people, right? Because, like, anyone can be black. You and Rachel got the same nappy blonde hair. What kind of perm do you get to make pin straight hair into a faux fro? I thought it was just a regular perm. I think it just has a different effect on white people's hair. That's what I thought. I don't know. Well, welcome back, Molly. But yeah, that is the problem, that anyone can kind of claim a black identity, though, you know. Seemingly, you know. I mean, you do have to have, like, a connection to blackness, but even to the point now, it's like, I heard some people even defending this bullshit. Mainly black men, you know, defending her, saying, oh, she black, she black, she black. But when Jesse Williams got up and made that speech, some of those same black men was like, Their connection are all stereotypes of blackness, though. What are you, sorry, I kind of lost my train of thought there. Their connection, their connections are all stereotypes of blackness, though. Dark-skinned men are a joke. You know, I kind of hesitate to talk about, like, darker skinned black men, because I don't want to come off as if I'm bashing. Especially, it kind of takes on a different tone when I say it, you know. And also, you know, I don't think that all dark skinned men, you know, contribute to the problem. But I think as a collective, yeah, you know. Like, there's some issues going on in that situation. You know, because sometimes a lot of these dark-skinned men don't really give a damn about dark-skinned women, you know. But they'll jump, they'll trip over, like, trip down a staircase to defend a light-skinned or mixed chick, though. Mhm. That's because many dark skin hate being black themselves. Many dark skinned men hate being black themselves. But the thing is, though, I'm like, well, the dark skinned black men, they get like the positive media well, they get media promotion, you know. Many times it is positive, you know. When we think of black men, they are the men that come to mind, so they're not being ignored. And also in like the community, black men, dark skinned black men especially, are put on a pedestal. So it's like, what's the problem? You know, like, I don't, there's something there. Something's up. Like, what's the problem? Let's see. It seems like more dark-skinned black men who are public figures always have the most mouth about dark-skinned black women. Yeah, yeah. And oddly, they get away with it. I mean, for some reason, they get away with it, you know. Because I feel like if this was said by like a white man, oh no, you know, then it's like World War III. But it's said by a black dude. See. What I meant to say is when white women think they are imitating black women, it's usually with stereotypical behavior like Miley Cyrus and Miley and twerking. It's annoying. Yeah, that's true. It's just like, oh, kind of like just picking and choosing kind of like stereotypical things. Let's see. And let's see. Right. And they use their pedestal to announce to the world how they like fair skinned women. Yeah. You know. But let that be the other way around, though. Let the dark skinned women do the same thing and, put mixed, light skinned and mixed dudes on the pedestal. Let that be. Let's see how that goes down for a second. Oh, hey, what's up, Nunya Biz? Thanks for joining the chat. It could be mine's. It could be my Wi-Fi. Before I started this stream, some message had popped up about some potential issue. It was, I don't know. I forgot to really like actually read the message, but it was something about an issue that was going on. But I was just like, let's just go with it and see how it goes. They call us bed winch, or I guess bed winches, because y'all mixed men are white men too. Who is the y'all? Their egos are not strong enough to handle light-skinned men being placed above them. They would crumble. If that happened, you would see some emotional ass dark-skinned men. You really would. You know. Cough cough Justin Timberlake. I wish YouTube would have could like record the chats, because the chats, that's where the comments be coming from. But they only just show like me, right? Yeah, I kind of just think that. What was the Justin Timberlake comment referring to about how he, you know, practically threw Janet Jackson under the bus? A straw lippy? I'm not sure. I think you. I'm not sure if I recognize you. So, welcome. Thanks for joining. Black people are doomed. You know, black people have been through a lot. You know, and colorism is still an issue. You know, too much hatred. You know, I think honestly, the only way to solve this colorism problem, and what I'm about to say is probably going to upset some people, and it's going to upset me too, really. But I think we may have to just kind of like separate into like a whole different race of people. Like the light skinned people on this in this racial category, and the dark skinned people in this racial category. But I kind of feel like that may just end up dividing us, and we may not be able to come together when it comes to fighting white supremacy. Then we'll be kind of like separated. You'd have featureism from, you know, black women don't get treated well enough. Dark-skinned black women, especially, are so dehumanized to the point it's creating generational trauma. Yeah, and it's, I don't know, people, when it comes to black women's issues aren't really dealt with, you know, specifically as like black women's issues, you know. It's just, hmm. I told my friend black people in America aren't realistic. Africans have tribes. Black people may have to separate into groups like with like-minded black folks. You know, I mean, if I were, I guess personally were to separate into a group, I don't know, it'd be kind of weird for me to be around a whole bunch of light-skinned folks. Not all skin folk are kinfolk. That's true. Because sometimes it's like, oh, you know, that person's a black person. That's what's up. But then when you get to know that black person, you're like, I don't, you ain't my people. To think, I think to recognize that there is division between light skin and dark skin because of white supremacy and work towards trying to unlearn and heal some of that behavior. Black men are literally emotional terrorists to black women, and dark-skinned black women especially. We need to establish community and more wealth to make our own promotion. So should black women be in charge of their promotion, or should black men be in charge of their promotion? Good question. Yeah, I kind of do think it should be black men. I think typically, I know Chrissy has mentioned this before, but like every other race seems, it seems to be where the black were. the men promote the women, and they don't leave it up to the women to promote themselves. See, black men have proven throughout history they're willing to sell us out. Ouch. But it's like the wealthiest black men always choose light or non-white. It does seem like that. Or non-black. Sorry. Non-black. It does seem like that. I do think that the media sometimes wants to purposely push that narrative, like, oh, this many black men date outside the race. Black men are not going to promote all skin tones, though. I think they'll just gravitate to the skin tones that they find appealing. And it also depends on who's doing the promotion, which it'll probably be dark-skinned black men because they're just the more majority and probably the more invested in the community, honestly. I think a lot of times, like, the downfall of, like, light-skinned men is that, I don't know, like, for one, it's kind of difficult to tell us apart as far as, like, who's light-skinned versus who's mixed. Also, as far as maybe looking alike too, but as far as like who's quote unquote light skin versus quote unquote mixed, I guess I'm doing quotes for some reason. I don't know. And sometimes, it's kind of difficult to know who you got to claim on. Who you got to claim on. Let's see. Yes, I hate white supremacy, but I also couldn't imagine if black men were in power right now. I bet white men would still be elevated in the standard of beauty. That is, as messed up as that sounds, for some reason I kind of could see that as a possibility. Let's see. I like the matriarch communities in Africa. I want to rule my own nation. Rachel would be the new face of Ebony Magazine. They're going to put Rachel Dolezal on the cover of Ebony Magazine. The new black woman. But you notice they do that with the black women, though. They let the biracial woman be the face of black women. They make sure to do that. Let's see. Light-skinned black men are cowards. They rarely speak up for black women when we need them. Most end up with non-black or white women. I will say when it comes to like light-skinned men, it's a bit more difficult when it comes to like a point-blank dating preference. I feel like the biracial men tend to lean towards non-black. I feel like the light-skinned men might tend to lean towards blackness, but it also depends on their family dynamic. Luna says, light-skinned black men don't come to our aid because we shit on them too, to be honest. I think that is a valid argument, because, some, black women are kind of vocal about their preferences, right? They want, love themselves some chocolate, right? So to an extent, it would be like, well, why should I come to the defense of someone who doesn't really like me, who doesn't prefer me or like me, So that is a good point, I don't even get why people find white people attractive, says Soybeans. I think that happens because partially of the media, because white people get so much media promotion, and also you've seen white people since your childhood because of the television shows and the media and all that good stuff. And Kiki learns language. Thanks for joining. Um, I don't know what Zendaya is referring to though, but thanks for joining. Um, did you guys hear about the pageant where the white passing girl won out of a group of dark skinned black girls? Yeah, I heard about that. I did. Yeah. If you are a black woman, especially a dark skinned black woman, and you prefer light skinned black men, you'll be shamed for that. Forget black men, black women will shame your ass for that. That's how deep that programming is, though. You know, because they don't. It doesn't happen the other way around like that. Black men don't shame other black men for preferring light skinned black women. It's just like whatever. Oh, Zendaya was on Ebony magazine. I know she was on the cover with Harry Belafonte and Jesse Williams at one point. But did she do like another cover? Um, let's see. Um, but yeah, back to the white passing girl who won the pageant. Yeah, I heard about her. Yeah, and her dad's probably a light skinned black man. And I made a whole video about that where I'm saying to the light skinned black people, if you want your children to be black or considered black, why not have a child with someone who is black? You know? And to an extent, I'm just like, you know, don't come, don't go outside the community, have your kids, and then want to bring your kids back into the community. I don't appreciate that. Um, let's see. Molly says, right, Luna. Most black women glorify dark skinned brothers, so why would light skinned black men run to our defense? Hmm. I agree with Molly. Black men don't want liberation, they just want to take over white men's position, but keep white women at the top as well. Let's see. We're always saying we like chocolate, this and that. I prefer light dude growing up, but black people be shaming some of us. Yeah, cause you know, if you're a black woman, you ain't supposed to like what? How you get the audacity to have a preference? It's just right. Let's see. Molly says she finds men attractive who are providers, hard workers, strong, and decent quality, no matter what skin color they are. Let's see. Jane St. Clair wrote, shout out to Jane St. Clair, and thanks for joining the chat. Everyone can have a preference except dark-skinned black women. It's nonsense. Yeah, I kind of do notice, like, it seems like the darker you get, it seems like the less people are open to your preference. You know, it's almost like, how dare you have a preference? Kiki, I didn't know you had older light skinned brothers, but then again, I don't really know you, so it's not like I'm like really know. Um, let's see. And Luna says they'll say he's a white man. He's not masculine. Like what the hell? You know, I think that sort of stuff comes up because I think sometimes some like darker skinned men may feel like lighter skinned men are a barrier or an obstacle. Let's see. Yes, Jane, we should accept whoever bone black people. We should accept whatever bone black people throw at us. Should you? Harry and Jesse both love some paste. Yep, come on, preach it. Um, my ex broke up with me and married a white woman. He thought I would take him back after she cheated on him. Nope, stay over there with your kids and the Beckys. But you a swirler too, though. So how you mad though? Let's see. Kiki, I turned these black men down who chase Becky. Stay over there. Let B remain in your last place spot. Or something. I guess let Becky in your spot or whatever. This all comes down to black women. Or comes down. Let's see. This all comes down to black people, I guess, not wanting black women to have any options. They want black women to be like their concubines. They want to be with non-black women, but sleep with black women, though. Let's see. One, Kiki bro. Let's see. One is a tad darker than you. The other is medium brown caramel. Okay. Hey, Sarah. Welcome to the chat, and thanks for joining. Let's see. There is a difference. Most black men swirl because they hate black women. Black women swirl because the numbers aren't there for available quality black men. Okay, so you feel like black men probably have more of an option or more of a better chance to get a quality black woman than a black woman has to get a quality black man. Have you seen the research that proves darker skin black people make less money and have higher prison sentences? I've heard about that. I don't really know about one specific study, but I have heard about that, Um, I don't I'm not one to like, get on here and deny like colorism, you know. Let's see. Let's see. Luna wrote, "My high school boyfriend was scary as F. LOL. He's always talking about bombs. He's just so emo. But I liked his emo-ness, to be honest." You should make a video about male identified black women. Is it like black women who get mistaken for being black men, or is it like transgender black women? Yeah, I think the community in general sort of coddles black men. No, no. Let's say no. I mean, some black women identify so much with black women that they can't contextualize their own black women experience. Oh, I think maybe you meant some black women identify so much with black men they can't conceptualize their own experience. Yeah, I think there is some type of like conditioning that black women are put under. I think we as a community kind of tend to sort of coddle black men. But that's the thing. I think these some women especially, like black women especially, I think, you know, they need to stop coddling black men. I'm not saying everyone does it, but I'm saying I feel like some black women tend to sort of coddle black men. And like a lot of times these black men ain't offering you nothing but like what? Dick and disease, you know? A problem. Black women coddle black men over black women. Look at black mothers. Look how black mothers treat their black sons versus black daughters. Always calling them little innocent black girls fast. The mammying does need to die. I haven't seen that article. Did you see the article about the about how most folks view black girls? All right. Good night, soybeans. I think I may end up doing another live stream sometime tomorrow. Black girls are 80 times more likely to be slapped by their boyfriends than any other group of women. But why they want to slap the black girls? You were the third child, but you were supposed to be the responsible one. Isn't that supposed to be the oldest kid? So they kind of did that with like Khloe Kardashian, though. I feel like they made Khloe Kardashian be responsible for the Kardashian family, even though she was like the third oldest or the third kid. Khloe just ugly. Yeah, I don't think Khloe is a a beauty queen. Chloe looks like Chewbacca, long lost child. Now, that's not nice. Even psychologists ignore black women's mental health. They don't see black women as feminine or human beings with normal feelings. Let's see. I might end up seeing the Black Panther movie. You know, I think that actors needs to stick with the Black Panther movie though, and not do um, the Thurgood Marshall movie. And that's the thing too. Like if if the some beige Jew was doing a Black Panther movie, folks would be kind of feeling some type of way. You know. How long did it take to grow your beard? I started growing sometime in January. Yeah, yeah, Chloe's had it tough. Well, she comes from a privileged background though. She looks like a Cabbage Patch Kid though. She don't look that bad. Let's see. She's racist and thinks she's better than black girls cause dumbass weak black men, I guess, put her ugly ass on a pedestal cause she white. CK is crystalline kerosene or kerosene. I think it's kerosene. Yeah. Yeah, they shouldn't have casted him for the Thurgood Marshall movie. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. But that's the thing. This doesn't happen. This happens. I don't see the opposite happen. I don't see them casting, like if they did a Lena Horne movie, they wouldn't be casting a dark skinned actress to play Lena Horne. White women are crazy. When white women end being single moms after dating black men, the white community calls them mud sharks and shuns them. But sometimes they can still come back. I see some some white women getting back with white men after they've had their biracial kids. In Hidden Figures, the real women were lighter than the ones who played them in the movie. I would say, okay, perhaps. But I feel like they were hidden figures, so we didn't really know what they looked like anyway, though. I don't think that should have happened, but we know what Thurgood Marshall looks like, though. Vegan Gains. Is Vegan Gains black? Oh, Vegan Gains is biracial, half black, half white, but passes for black. And you said his white wife called him the N word with an ER on the end of it, and he had no reaction. Well, I don't know. I guess that was flies in their household, you know. I guess he's cool with his wife calling him that. His wife may call him that when they're in bed together. But I don't know. If he had no reaction, I guess I don't know. But still, that's a bit weird. Should white people ever feel that comfortable, even if you are in a relationship and married to them? If a white woman starts bragging about black men around you, just pause and say, I don't date black men, and watch how salty she looks. Why she look salty though? Because she felt like, oh, she has something that you got, but now she don't got it. Or she's like, oh, well, you know, the black woman like, well, you can have it. You can have. I guess you bring up a good point, Nunya Biz. He might be numb to it because his white side of his family was been calling him that. You know, the rapper Logic mom used to call him the N word. Probably still do. Let's see. I tell black women, if you don't swirl, don't ever let black men know that. You are giving them the upper hand to feel like they have no competition to get you. I think that's actually a good policy, you know. I think that's probably something that even probably even if you don't actually swirl, kind of just pretend like you got some options, I guess. I think that probably is a good um strategy, not strategy, I guess, but a good policy. Mulattoes are crazy. Let's see. I agree. Let's see. It's so sad. These biracials are so utterly destroyed emotionally. Let's see. I just saw this video by a dark-skinned black guy called Negrito playing in this dark-skinned Afro-Mexican woman's wavy hair and asking her what she doesn't like about American black women. She said our weave. Well, I think black women have a combination because some black women they have natural textured hair. Then some black women do like the perms, and then some black women do like the wigs and weaves. Um, but I think it's the stereotype. It's kind of like stereotype that all black women wear weave, and that's not true. You know, I hate how these black men proclaim to love non-black women, go off to them and make them single mothers, ergo setting up a continuous cycle of self-hate, racism, and abandoned children in another race. And these children will come back into our race, the black race, and perpetuate colorism. I think mixed people with black fathers are kind of prejudiced. They learn it from their white mother and black father, who probably hate black women and feel superior to black people. Hmm. That's how you know the common denomination or denominator is black men. Let's see. I hate how if you're darker but have a looser hair pattern, it's assumed to be a weave or perm. You know dark-skinned folks can't have good hair, ginger tea. You know dark-skinned folks, they ain't got no good hair. I'm just joking. Black men are the common denominator of single motherhood in every race. LOL. I don't care about them. Are you strictly a swirler, a straw? I'm not actually familiar with hair types. So it's like it's hypocritical to have type 2 hair and call out other people's weave. Let's see. Jail also creates single motherhood. Yeah, that's true. Let's see. Okay, Chili from TLC has type 2B hair. Okay. But people like Chili's hair. Why do you think it's hypocritical for them to call out the weave wearers, I guess? Or many black men like jail, though. A lot of them are gay. These pick me black women keep sleeping with them and increasing the HIV rate. And is that a stereotype, though? I live a life so different from other black women that most hate me for even daring to be sovereign-minded. Are you sure that is because you're sovereign-minded, though? Or maybe they might be picking up on maybe like, maybe, or they're either picking up on a disdain or maybe interpreting you as having a disdain for, I guess, black men. And you know black men represents black people, right? You know how that works, you know. Black women don't represent black people, but black men do. Let's see. Their hair doesn't break off. We don't talk about the men. We don't talk about the men that have been molested. I don't think I don't think the men really want to share their stories about stuff like that. I think really some women don't even want to share their stories about stuff like that. The CDC stats just prove black men to have the highest HIV rates. It seemed like the media be pumping out that black women have the highest HIV rates. But I guess maybe it changed. Uh, I'm sorry you have had that experience, A Straw. Perhaps, you know, there is a good black man for you out there. I know you don't feel like you need him, and you don't, but I think might be a good thing for you to give him a chance. I haven't seen Serena Williams' maternity pictures. I noticed they did two versions of the same pose. One picture with a braid and another with silky hair weave. I wonder why they did two looks. So she can appeal to different audiences. No, no, don't try to give a black man a chance. The stats prove it will most likely not work in your favor. Well, we can't say that. You know, I definitely don't use my platform to be like, oh, go outside the community. I don't knock people who do go outside the community, but I think for me personally, that's not something that I would promote. Even if I have some issues with black women, I kind of feel like I would just keep it to myself, or at least not like air it out in public. How come when black men have bad experiences with black women, everyone sympathizes, or I guess empathizes, with him and his choice in non-black women, but when it's a black girl, we have to, I guess, give black men a chance. Nope, nah, no. I guess no, nah, no. Let's see. I guess my personal preference, I guess, would probably be like a woman who is probably darker than me. But then again, I'm thinking, is that like a preference that's based in wait, is it like a colorism preference? You know? Do I have brown children? I don't have any kids. Ooh, this comment section is lit. Okay, I think I get what you're saying, Kiki. Um, I guess I would want my kids to be considered black, so it would make sense for me to have a child with a black woman, you know? Because that would be kind of messed up if I'm like, oh, let me go outside and have a kid with Rebecca, but then be like, oh, my child's black, and you done produce this like mixed race white passing kid, but you want them to be black, you know? Like where they do that at? Yeah, I've done videos about me sharing my ancestry DNA test results. By the way, if you guys are um interested in that sort of a thing. Oh, thanks, Molly. Kiki, exactly. You know, that's the thing. Like, I would probably like if I were to have a kid with like a white woman, I would produce, I might end up producing that beauty pageant winner, you know. And like I don't have anything against white passing people, I have white passing people in my family, Um, I've ac- I've also shared that my father is actually white passing, So I don't have anything against white passing people, but I feel like you kind of should be coming toward the community if you want to be black, not away from the community. How many kids do I want? I guess maybe two or three. No, A Straw, they exist. They exist, but I think it's just they maybe just hidden somewhere. One's enough for you. Only child, or the only kids, of your family. Oh, really, Molly? Which video did you share? I'm like, I'm my father's only kid, but I'm my mother's um, third and last child. Having kids is a commitment. Lots of money. Yeah, kids are expensive. You know, I don't know how like people do it. The thing is, though, I'm not usually around those type of dudes who would be saying that type of thing, though. A straw. Um, in my day to day life, I don't really encounter those type of black men, though. Thankfully. But I do think, really, sometimes you don't even have to really, like, go in. Sometimes you can just ask why. I think sometimes that just need to be the question. Why do you feel the way you do? You know. Oh, you're on your own when you go to college. Mm, as far as a regular basis, it's pretty much like mm, yeah, kids are expensive, especially if you put them in activities. But as far as like a regular basis, and really, to be honest, not really. Somewhat of a loner in some aspects. I do keep in contact with people that I've met via school and via college, and usually we don't really get into these type of discussions in my day-to-day life a lot of the times. That's part of the reason why I do these videos. I've heard of World Star Hip Hop, but I don't think I've ever actually visited the site though. Hey, artists in exile. Oh, you're welcome, artists in exile. I thought it was a really good comment. That's why I made the video about it. Um, and I do think that topic is a really good topic to explore. Why, some dark skinned people may feel the need to not have dark skinned children, who want to avoid having dark skinned children. Um, what do I think about the word simp? I guess it's sort of along the lines of like bedwench, probably, you know. I do think there are legitimate bedwenches and legitimate simps, but sometimes I think people just throw those words out just to sort of kind of like as a shaming tactic. Hmm. I think for me, like photography is something that I'm really about to get back into. I was into it for a little while, but then I got sidetracked with some things. You know, another interest of mine is the Spanish language. Um, for me, the Spanish language really interests me, and I've been learning it for years. And music, of course, is an interest. You know. Let's see. Yeah, it seems like when you defending a black woman, that's when the simp. That's when people start to call folks simps. Speak some Spanish. um, ¿Por qué? No quiero hablar en español al momento. How long have you been learning Arabic? I kind of thought about doing a live stream about Spanish, but I just didn't think it. I don't think anyone would actually be interested in it though, because like my channel is not really. I don't know, my like the channel I have. It's sort of like the subscribers who subscribe to me are like a mixture of people. You study Arabic for years but can't comprehend the language. Ouch. I thought about learning Portuguese, Sarah. I see. I think black women and black men need to learn multiple languages. No, I didn't know you had a Facebook group called Black Bilingual. Well, I did my language learning through school, primarily. I started in high school. I took 4 years in high school, and I continued learning in college too. But yeah, I could probably do like a whole stream on Spanish. A black father and his biracial child. Well, that's good that you know, the father is involved in his child's life. Um, None of your biz. My viewership mostly comprised of. It's strange because like I've done on my channel, I've done different videos. Like for a while, I was doing videos about like Asian pop music. So a lot of the people who subscribe to me probably are Asian or at least interested in Asian pop music. Um, then some people subscribe because of the Spanish language videos that I've done. And then some other people subscribe because of like the black issues videos that I've done, talking about colorism and, racism and things like that. Ah, yeah, there was a black bum father who posted some fake ass, half ass parenting video consoling his biracial daughter. However, there was another video of him bullying his dark-skinned daughter. I didn't see that. Let's see. So it seems like there's a it seems like this guy has some issues. But who's going to step in on behalf of this dark-skinned black girl and what she's going through? Like, who's going to step in and help her? Like, I don't think Defects will be able to do it. You know, so she's going to end up having some issues when she grows up. They deny they mixed race sons, though. I heard that YouTube users are given a chart that tells you the age range, sex, and the graph of what videos are popular and what isn't. Not sure if that's true, but I was just wondering. Oh, yeah, they do give you that breakdown. As far as like the age range of the people who watches your videos, you know, the gender and sex of the people who watch your videos, as well as the location of the people who watch your videos too. They do give you that demographic information. Like YouTube provides that demographic information. How many videos are there of this black man acting this dumb? I briefly posted, for a moment I was posting videos where I did speak Spanish, but I don't think people are really checking for me to speak Spanish, because I was speaking Spanish about like Asian pop music videos. Yeah, I like Kodakumi too. Well, I won't say, yeah, I'll say I like Kodakumi, you know. Manny Irizarry, I think that's how you say it. I'll just call you Manny. Hey, Manny. Um, Te observo tu español, hermano. Oh, muchas gracias por um, observar mi español. Yeah, I saw your comments on that video, None Your Biz. And I appreciated the comments, you know. And I could probably go on more about the differences in American Spanish the Spanish spoken in the United States versus the Spanish spoken in other countries too. Um, Kiki, yo asisto clases de español um, por mi biblioteca. Um, Más o menos vivo en un área más o menos con hispanohablantes, pero no tengo acceso a los hispanohablantes en mi um, vecindario or barrio, perhaps. Sí, la biblioteca en mi vecindario, barrio, perhaps, tal vez, tiene clases de español. Colonia, colonia. ¿Qué es colon? Oh, vecindario. Gracias por la ayuda. Manny, ¿eres de México? ¿O tu familia es de México? Oh, en Brasil y los Estados Unidos. Okay. Manny, ¿no tienes herencia hispana o latina? ¿O tu familia es de Brasil? Oh, brasileña. Maybe I should speak English too. I'm sorry for the people who might not be into the Spanish part. I don't speak Portuguese, but I was interested. Um, I've been interested in learning, but I don't speak it. Um, I think they're very similar languages, though. They did form in the same area, though, in like the Iberian Peninsula, so that's probably why it is. Really? Okay. ¿Tú has aprendido español de sus novias y por, por el internet? Um, Sarah, I've been sort of listening to Voice of America. They have a Spanish podcast on their website, their Spanish website, um, voanoticias.com, noticias.com. Yeah, Luna, I've been thinking about learning French some more. I took a year in high school and a year in college. I don't really remember all that much. I can remember like some stuff, like, like, um, je m'appelle, comment allez-vous? Uh, you know, merci beaucoup. Yeah. I since I'm in the United States, I tend to gravitate towards Spanish. Uh, thanks. You know, I think French starts off hard. I think Spanish starts off easy, you know. But if you go through Spanish in its totality, because Spanish has like really weird grammar rules. Let's see. Estoy tratando de alcanzar un nivel muy alta en español. Sí, yo también, you know, yo así mismo. Spanish is a Wysiwyg. I don't know what that means. Oh, what you see is what you get. I think Spanish tends to be more consistent, or as they put it, more normalized than other languages. But Spanish does has its moments sometimes. Like I've been learning about impersonal expressions with Aber. I was thinking about posting a video where I talk about those impersonal expressions with Aber. You know, like I, abra, um, you know, abia, ubo. Yeah, I took an Italian class, you know, a session of an Italian class like last week, and me knowing Spanish did help that with learning Italian. I think English is considered a Germanic language, though, at least officially. Perhaps I should do a live stream about, you know, exclusively talking about Spanish and whatnot. Talvez, quizás. No, quiero hablar sobre el español más. Yeah, I was studying up on the expressions with Aber, because I was never really like I know some of them and I've learned those expressions through passing, but I haven't really like you know really went into depth about it. Aber is a helping verb, and it's also used in impersonal expressions to express to be. So yeah, it is an important word, you know. I'm actually not even sure of like the conjugations. I could probably get through a present tense conjugation, but past tense and stuff, I'm not too sure about. I haven't heard of bilingual blogs, Kiki. Imperfect subjunctive is hard. Um, I think if you can get the subjunctive, I think the imperfect subjunctive you will be able to get. The conditional, I think the conditional seems like it's pretty easy. Are you talking about like the conjugations of them, or just actually using them? Because I think using conditional is pretty easy. Imperfect subjunctive conjugations. There's two ways to conjugate in the imperfect subjunctive tense, you know. both of them are valid, but sometimes people use one more than the other and all that good stuff. Oh. Um, but I haven't really. I've learned a little bit about the imperfect subjunctive in like grammar class in college and a little bit in high school. But I recently have taken it upon myself to learn more. No fumas, Kiki? Goal. Goal. No tomas también. No tomas tampoco. Do I do drugs or drink? No, not really. I'm not much of a drinker and I don't do drugs. I've thought about doing like marijuana or something for medicinal purposes though, but I haven't. Mentirosos. A ti te gustan preservativos sin o sin ellos? Okay. Apparently, Manny was joking. ¿Por qué quieres bromear? Bromear. All right. Good night, A Straw. Thanks for joining the chat. And good luck with school. All right. Have a good night, Molly. Yeah, I'll probably be closing up soon too. But I may end up coming back on here tomorrow. I don't know how to say hello in Yoruba or Yoruba. All right. Good night, Sarah. Thanks for joining. All right. And Manny, you live in New York, right? Um, I currently reside in Georgia, but I'm not in Georgia at the moment. Ekale. Do you speak Spanish a lot in California? In your day-to-day community and life? Icale. Okay. De vez en cuando. Okay. See. A friend that doesn't speak English well. Oh. I'm glad you said well instead of good. Yeah, thanks for joining the conversation and chatting, Luna. I appreciate the support. Why West Africans don't have love for you, Manny? I guess I'll be going within the next 10 minutes. No, I didn't know you were light skin. Well, I guess you're from Brazil, so I guess that would make sense. I don't know. I kept imagining you as like, a brown Latino, I guess maybe. But I know Brazil does have like a mulatto population. That's what they call it in Brazil. 25 miles per hour. Yeah, too bad you weren't a light skinned or mixed race woman. You'd have it made then. I think black women are kind of perhaps exploring their options, maybe. They are entitled to it. Yep, I agree. We all are. But then it's like, but what happens when trouble occurs across the fence? Should we expect black people to have our backs? Because sometimes it's like, well, if you go across the fence, should you be like, like you on your own, or should we be like, oh, we have your back? Yeah, people aren't dependable. As a collective, black people are envious of you and you're just human. Why do you feel like they're envious? A high IQ and you can type really fast. Crystalline Kerosene said black women have no allies. Um, Black people have no allies. As a group of people, I think black women. I think it's kind of true. I don't think black women do. They make fun of you and call you "I'll be sure," sure. But I don't think people consider "I'll be sure" to be like ugly or busted. You know, they're telling you that you look like a light skinned dude from the '80s who was popular. Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember hearing about that. And it did seem like people were really taking pleasure in that, especially like black men. But I feel like these same black men would be on, if this happened to another black man, they would just be like, oh, that's messed up, you know? What's wrong with being called Christopher Williams? I think he has this kid with Stacey Dash too. But many people think that you're Puerto Rican and Cuban. You get it all. Do you consider yourself black or Brazilian, mulatto? Mixed. How would you identify yourself? Because that's important. You said, nope, I consider myself mulatto and Brazilian and mixed. Okay. So, well, you are sort of like, you know, assuming an identity that is not exclusively black, though. Um, so, should you expect black people to embrace you if you're not embracing them? What's the LOLs for, none your biz? I think Kiki. I think you may. I guess based on the picture, you may give off that sort of, African queen vibe. Yeah, it seems like I don't know. Some light skinned folks be acting some sort of a way. But Manny, you said no. Black people need to embrace themselves by not allowing mixed people to be black. But you just said that you have mentioned that black people give you grief and don't accept you, but here you're saying that they shouldn't accept you and they should not allow mixed people to be black. Am I Muslim? Nope. I get mistaken for for Muslim a lot though. That's been happening a lot recently. I was walking through the park on probably like a week or two ago, and this guy and his son, this guy with his son, had just like stopped and like asked me, you know, about like my race and ethnicity and like am I a Muslim and all that stuff. Yeah, that's happened to me on the streets a couple of times. People confusing me for like, I guess quote unquote Middle Eastern. That has happened before. None of your biz. I agree with what you're posting. But Kiki, no, I'm not Afro Arabic or Afro Middle Eastern. I get mistaken for that sort of a thing, but um, I'm Not. I actually did a DNA test and it showed up like less than 1% Middle Eastern. Um, do I think you're arrogant? I think that I don't know. I feel like you may have sipping been sipping like the white supremacy Kool-Aid. I kind of do think you may have sort of like maybe thumb, look down a little bit on like black people. And that's really easy to do, you know, to look down on black people. That's that's just going to fuel the room, fuel people's suspicions. Well, that's not a good thing if you're looking down on black people. Black people need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps. Uh-oh. And stop taking their men for children for child support. The women are the problem um, of the black community. Yes. Manny, are you trolling? Are you a white troll, Manny? You came from the caves, Manny. Am I Caribbean? No. You said he looks like Sammy Sosa after bleaching. But I feel like you may have that mentality of a white person, though, Manny. Because it seemed like you think you better than black people just because, you know? And just because you mulatto don't mean you better than black people. And you came from black people, though. That's the thing. Yeah, but, as quiet as it's kept, a lot of people feel this way about black people, though. They feel like black people are just the lowest of the low. But when shit go down, they want to come running to the black people. When white folks remind them that they ain't white like them. I guess I should end this chat. It's going on for about that would be a whole nother subject. I should probably end the chat at this point. Um, but thanks a lot for watching and tuning in, you guys. Thanks for posting and your candid responses, Mandy. Manny. Good night, none your biz. All right. Good night, Ginger Tea. And you're welcome. Manny. De nada. Now, Manny. That's not cool. All right. Adios y buena suerte. Well, I guess buena noches. Well, I guess both. It's like good night and good luck. All right. Good night, Kiki, Manny, Nunya Biz, Ginger, and the rest of you guys who are watching. Thanks for watching. Adios and goodbye for now. I probably might be back up here tomorrow, or I guess later on today. So thanks a lot for watching. Adios and goodbye for now.